Chapter 5, In Search of a Dress. Oh, wow, they made a whole chapter about just the dress searching. This is going to be far more troublesome than I expected it to be. Fucking hell. I was hoping to buy a dress, but I'm guessing we have to go to the middle ring to get the good dress, but there are going to be people pursuing us and shit. And we're probably going to meet those two ladies, and they're going to be like, ooh, what are you getting the dress for? So it's going to be a pain in the ass. Let's go, Scout, says Kriya. Left or right? One is as good as the other. Maybe to chess, the goddess of luck. The god of luck will favor us. The distant shout of the goblin continue. Yeah, powerful snarl. Gods, why couldn't I have gotten the goddess of luck instead of trickery, you think? Give me a moment to think, you whisper to Kriya. If you knew the goblins were in that room, you ought to know the way out. You say to Egra, of course. Face Smasher, my goblin champion you hacked down in the dining hall, carried me for days, so yes, I'm familiar with this domain, but you got yourself into this mess. Why should I get you out? I'm your champion. It is more fun in the cities. It will vex the goblins if we escape. It's more fun in the cities. Let's go with that because we're going to be meeting the vampire anyway. It's more fun in the cities above. You say to Egra, if the goblins slay me, they will take the amulet and you will be back around the neck of one of those ugly fiends, sulking about in the dark with the rats. Goddess deserve better scenery and better company. All is quiet for a moment with the exception of Gukog's wheezing breath. Very well, no tricks this time, says Egra. Take a right, I will guide you. You don't trust her, but what choice do you have? I have a hunch we should go right, you say. A hunch? Kriya asks spectacally. What is the scout of this party? Never question who is the scout of this party? Never question the rooster. As you say, you begin walking. The party travels as fast as you can go with Gukog's limp. It's probably just as well that you go to a manageable pace. God knows you'll probably be fighting for your life soon. You will need to have stamina for it. The shouts of goblin continue. It might be your imagination, but it seems like they're getting louder. Egra, are you leading me to the goblins again? You ask for a way out, not to avoid the goblins. She says, it's implied. Scowling, you strain your eyes, willing to see beyond the light of your lantern. What sort of magic can we do now, aside from illusion, you say? I can make things more slippery than ice, she says, like the floor. You can make things slippery, you say, trying to convey your mind of disappointment in your mind. Kriya, who is nothing more than a girl with some silly books, can blast flames from her fingertips, and you, the daughter of a god, can make things slippery. That's hilarious. And other things that you are unworthy to learn of yet, she says. You think you detect a hint of defensiveness. There's another chorus of shout. It sounds like there are quite a few goblins up ahead. We need a disguise. Maybe an illusion on our party would be good, you say. Perhaps make us all big goblins. Yes, I can disguise all three of you. My father has bequeathed his favor upon us. Let's to spend it before he decides to take it away from us. Egra tone sounds eager. It seems strange to you that Egra's father, trickster god, would be stingy on giving his daughter power. Or maybe she has a great deal of power, but she is the stingy one. You will have some questions for Egra if you survive long enough to ask them. For now, you will take her up on her offer to cast the illusion on you all at this moment, or you could wait a minute and think it over a little. What do? By the way, I'm not going to boost my stats unless there's an absolute need to, because I feel like that's kind of cheating because I have so much fucking luck on me from the fucking videos I've watched. But regardless, I feel like, yeah, I don't think I should. Yeah, I don't think I should boost my... It would cost me 4 favor. Fuck that. I think I'm only going to boost my stats when it's absolutely necessary to do it so. Because if I get to a point where none of the options get me out alive, or if like one of the options may get me out alive but put me in a worse situation, unless that's the case, I'm not going to boost my life. And if I do boost my life, I'm only going to boost it a little bit. I'm going to stop boosting my life all the way to 11 points because that's kind of fucked up, I feel like. So I'm going to think it over. Best to be cautious with magic from this being, you suppose, and also Kriya would know And she's gonna be like, you're not a mage, how the fuck did you do that? You continue down the hall, there are bones scattered about. You can't identify them at all, but there are definitely one goblin skull among them. Evidently they don't bury the dead, and not exactly a surprise. Speaking of surprises, one problem with casting illusion on the party is that it will certainly surprise them. All of a sudden everyone is a goblin. Kriya and Gukog may attack each other. Gods, they might attack me, you realize, unable to shield your thoughts. Egra chuckles inside your mind. What are you baiting me? You say. It would have been amusing, you must admit, says Egra. Gods, you want to destroy a champion, you say. Actually, yes, if he is a fool, as my champion, I am obliged to do as you wish, even if that is a stupid thing. Well, unless I would rather not. Actually, yes, if he is a fool, as my champion, I am obliged to do as you wish, even if that is a stupid thing. Well, unless I would rather not. Unless you'd rather not. That does not sound like any kind of obligation to me, you say. She laughs again. Suddenly there is a howl that echoes throughout the hall. I feel like the mic is too close to me. I feel like it might be actually too loud. I might have to lower the voice, but we'll see. That does not sound like any kind of obligation to me, you say. She laughs again. Suddenly there's a howl that echoes throughout the hall. Dog, says Gukog in a whisper. Probably a warg, says Kriya. Goblins train them from pups. From ahead of you, there are more goblin voices. They seem to be on the move. I have a potion of illusion, you whisper to Kriya. She crinkles her eyebrow. It will make us all look like goblins, okay? Gukog's mouth opens slightly. You're absolutely positive he doesn't understand what you're saying. You're not sure you understand what you're saying. Look, we're going to look like goblins, just don't kill each other, you say, directing your attention to Gukog in particular. There is no time to lose your mind, says Kriya. She looks around fearfully. Gods, it's up to me, isn't it? She says to herself. She lowers her whisper even more. A nitwit, a loon, and me. Who's the nitwit and who's the loon again? A nitwit and a loon and me, that's it. I'm guessing I am the loon. I'm not sure what a loon is, to be honest with you. But whatever. You take a swig of water from your water skin. Behold, the illusion is about to begin. Kriya shakes her head. Her expression is one of sadness. Make us large goblins, but not impossibly large to their race, you say in your mind to Egra. And you hastily add, I will not carry a lantern, but rather a glowing sword. Yes, now that's what I'm talking about. That is hilarious. Wait. We took a swig from the water skin, so only we will turn into goblin, right? It would be absurd if all three of us converted into goblins. Then we wouldn't really have an excuse for that. What would you say? It's a really powerful potion. Seconds go by, your face burned with humiliation. Kriya stares at you with a mixture of pity and fear. In your mind, Egra laughs again. Kriya and Gukog shiver for a moment, and then are placed by a large... that is so annoying that she did that. I'm trying to avoid screaming at her, honestly, but fucking hell, that must be embarrassing. Fucking hell. In your mind, Egra laughs again. Kriya and Gukog shimmer for a moment and then are replaced by large goblins with vicious drools sliding down their chin. The goblin that was Kriya opens his mouth in amazement, revealing, why did they turn into goblins? That would be absurd. What type of potion affects others? For a moment, and they're replaced by large goblins with vicious drool sliding down the chins. The goblin that was Kriya opens his mouth in amazement, revealing rows of jagged, sharp teeth. The Gukog goblin raises his sword at you. I'm Rooster, you say. Gukog holds his sword frozen up in the air. Just an illusion, you say. I'm not really a goblin. You point at Kriya. She's not really a goblin. Gukog lowers his sword, looks down at his body. He's now making a sort of wheezing sound that you suppose might be his sounds of panic. But that's hilarious. Be careful. Be calm. It will go away. It's just a disguise, you say. How? How is this possible? Stammers Kriya. A fresh gout of drool spills out of her mouth. There is no such potion. Give me that water skin. She puts out her hand. Oh yeah, that was a bad move to use your water skin for that. Continue. Just then 10 or so goblins run out from around... Oh, luck. My luck. Just then 10 or so goblins run out from around the corner in front of you. However, they soon halt and shield their eyes from your light. There's too many goblins to fight toe to toe. You hold up your glowing sword threateningly and turn back and whisper, Gukog, we are in disguise, so do not attack them. And do not speak. You then walk towards the goblin with as much confidence as you can muster. Your companions follow. The goblins continue to wail and shout out in their nasty language as they cover from the light. Let's walk past them. Holding a sword in front of you, you walk confidently towards the goblins. They part before you, pressing their backs to the walls, except for one larger goblin who's standing defiantly yet still out of your way, shouting something. What is he saying? You ask Egra. He wants to know where you got that sword from and what's your tribe, says Egra. And he says you're ugly. Egra might not be telling the truth indeed. She might not even really understand the goblin language. You would expect a goddess to understand all languages, but you're not sure that's exactly what she is. She's even worse than the fucking demon that I had riding me in the first game. Yeah, that demon was less annoying. He was a lot more hostile, but he was less annoying. She's pissing me off. I guess that is the point of her character then again. You would expect, yeah. A few options come to you for how to handle the goblin. You could simply walk past him, your head held high. Another option would be to defy him with an obscure gesture. You don't know the goblin tongue, but every child is taught the three-finger gesture used by goblins and orcs to say, "May the gods violate you in these three ways." The fuck, man? What the fuck is that? By goblins and orcs to say, "May the gods violate you in these three ways." That is absurd. But what type of hand gesture would that be? Three-finger gesture. Let me think. If I have three fingers up, middle finger would be "fuck you." First finger would be... No, that doesn't really make sense to me. Finally, you can try to get a surprise attack on him. Perhaps you can make an example of this upstart to the other. I highly doubt that's gonna work. Let's use the obscene gesture. I think attempt to surprise attack would just cause the other goblins that are standing on the side to attack us, and we're in between them, so we'll be fucked up. Ignore him would probably not gonna work if he's actually asking for our tribe, so let's use an obscene gesture. Just from the goblin's body language, goblin's body language, you can tell he's not showing proper respect. You're not taking that. Putting up three fingers, you give him your biggest grin, lean in to show him you mean it. Meanwhile, you have your glowing sword at the ready in your other hand. He screams something at you. You take a step towards him. He shrinks back towards the wall, his eyes staring at your sword. Several other goblins start yammering, but the original offending goblin shuts up. They're urging him to fight you, says Egra excitedly. They say he's acting like a frightened earthworm. After holding a threatening pose for another second, you spin on your heel and continue walking with your head held up high, hoping you don't get a spear in your back. You hear more goblin gibberish as you walk away, but it is barely above a whisper. Soon you're around the corner out of sight of them. Yeah, she's probably going to ask me how the fuck did I do the illusion now. Egra continues to instruct you as you... Yeah, I just thought of something else. I have a sword in my hand, a glowing sword. So Kriya is definitely going to be asking me how the fuck does that work. Egra continues to instruct you as you navigate through the underground ruins. Meanwhile, the howls of... I just realized something. Egra or Ohor, her father, they sound like... what is that guy's name? The one guy from Oblivion that gives us the Wabbajack. Sheogorath, right. They sound like Sheogorath to me. Egra continues to instruct you as you navigate through the underground ruins. Meanwhile, the howls of wolves echo distantly. You run across a few smaller groups of goblins. You decide to greet them with an obscene gesture, a brandishing of your magical sword. They hurry along, apparently sufficiently intimidated. Kriya continues to ask you for your water skin. And you tell her to stop speaking like a human and stay in character. Eventually, she gives up, or at least you hope she has. Eventually, you're standing in a larger chamber. It was probably once a sight to behold, full of delicately carved statues. Like so many others, the statues have been defaced. Oh, this is like the last chamber we were in. We were in a chamber like that before. I think we might be getting close to the outside, you whisper. Yeah, no, I hope you're right. I still don't understand how you're guiding us. My keen senses have been honed as a scout, you say. I can smell ale and lamb chops even down here, you grin. I do not believe that nonsense, but I must admit the air does not smell so foul here, says Kriya. A river, says Gukog, and you and Kriya stare blankly at him. I hear water. Everyone is silent. It's true, you do hear running water. You follow the sound to an arched threshold out of the chamber. Shining your light out, there's another large chamber, but there is a wide rip down the entire center. It's collapsed chasm. Interesting. Time for a puzzle. I would be amazed if there's an actual puzzle section in this fucking game. That would be hilarious. Turn back to the others, grinning. Underwater river. You must emerge to the surface somewhere. Kriya smiles. Finally a way out. That is not the way out, says Egra in your mind. The other exit, the one next to the statue of the dragon, Walk back into the first chamber. It's easy to spot the dragon statue. Aside from its large size, it's not the only. It's the only statue that has not been vandalized. Maybe the goblins are afraid of it. Next to the statue is a large arched doorway. There is a sound of heavy steps. Dimly is the shadow of your light. Dimly in the shadow of your light, you see a large hairy beast stroll into the doorway next to the statue. It is a wolf. Only it is the size of a pony. Holy shit! It's fucking. What is that guy's name? The wolf with the sword. The Abyss Walker's pet. Artorias' pet. What is the name? Seth? No, Seath is the dragon, the unscaled dragon. Fuck. I completely forgot his name. Fucking hell. He's a pretty big character, despite that I forgot his name. But regardless, it's a Dark Souls thing. Don't mind it.